listeners and viewers. Welcome to a special series of wine talks for December. This episode will be discussing sexual misconduct. I'm Treese, and tonight I'm sipping peppermint tea because I have a sore throat.
And I'm Jenilyn, and I'm drinking some sort of cocoa tea because I also have a sore throat.
I'm Shirley, and I'm drinking a weird concoction of Pinot Grigio and ginger ale. It's quite refreshing.
Oh, sounds good.
I'm Tia, and I'm drinking ginger ale because I feel like shit today.
Great.
I'm Miska, and I'm drinking sparkling hard seltzer, Meyer lemon flavor.
That sounds good too.
Oh, that sounds real good.
Yeah.
Refreshing. Mm-hmm.
So as you guys can see, there is a variety of drinking / tea because of it's December and people are getting
It's that time.
So, but don't let that discourage you, people. You can always pour yourself a glass of wine or a beverage of your choice. If you're not driving only, you can drink a special drink of wine or something, I don't know, refreshing, alcoholic like. And remember to always drink responsibly. So relax and join us for wine. Now let's get sipping on our tea.
Glug, 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 glug.
Sorry.
Look, it's another day of the week, and yet again, there has been another sexual misconduct allegation. I don't know if you guys know, but Russell Simmons earlier this week, or sometime last week, he was accused by 2 women of engaging in sexual misconduct with them. One woman actually, he didn't recall if he had like interactions with her or not. And I don't know if you guys know, but Amanda Seale, who plays Tiffany on Insecure, once the news broke about Russell Simmons, she also shared an incident that occurred to her. So before naming names, she posted a video on social media about how she had an encounter where she had this meeting with this big wig and about like some kind of important business decision. She does a lot of like hosting of different things and interviewing people with Revolt and a whole bunch of other stuff. But anyway, she said she went into this meeting, and in the meeting, one of the first things he said to her is, have we fucked? Yeah.
Very professional.
Let that sink in. And then he's like, oh, right. She's like, no. He's like, oh, right, because I would remember that, right? Yeah. That person in question turned out to be none other than Russell Simmons himself. At the time, I guess she may not have felt like she could come out and say something because maybe no one would have believed her. But after these 2 women who came out recently, she decided to go ahead and share her story, which I thought was interesting, and I wanted to get you guys' take on that. Yeah. Do we fuck?
Is it bad if I'm like not surprised?
Well,
No, because I had the same thought.
Okay.
That Russell Simmons was on some creep shit. I was like, almost duh. Like he just has.
Right.
Wasn't Kimura like 15 or 16 when he started like?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
hella
she's
young.
pretty young. Yeah.
So, ... Yeah.
Yeah.
only been 3 girls so far who have come forward,
Yes,
including
so
Amanda.
far. Allegations too that there may be some males involved, but those males have yet to come out as well to share their stories. But I just thought it was interesting.
I'm sorry, did you say emails or males?
No, males. As in males.
Males. Okay,
Yes.
got it. I heard emails. I was like, release those emails.
Allegedly. And then I would say allegedly because I do not. I don't have Russell Simmons money to be like getting sued for this stuff, but there's allegations there. Well, Street's been talking, and apparently there's allegations there about males as well. So for me, I was more so taken aback by like, that's the first thing you say to me when we in a meeting. Like, I know it's like that is expected, but that's like rude as fuck. Cause like she is this Black woman trying to make it in business and being taken seriously in business. And then that's the first thing that you say to her in a meeting. rather than just taking her seriously for what, I don't know what the nature of the meeting was for or working together, the details of that, but it just kind of puts a damper for me, like how it's difficult to be taken seriously in the industry or in business in general.
Mhm.
So
I also feel like it's kind of indicative of the way that he and maybe like the people around him carry themselves in general. Because for you to feel just cool and comfortable with walking into a business meeting and be like, oh, did we fuck? I feel like that's not the only time that he did that, or at least not the only time that he
Right.
kind of himself in that manner, which also makes it kind of suspect that it's more pervasive than we're finding out now that it's more and more for you to feel just regular saying that in a business meeting has some implications.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. If he has the audacity to use that type of language and ask that type of question in a professional setting, then you can only imagine what he's like outside of the business.
And
And that's one of those
Gross.
things where I feel like it's kind of like what Misko's saying, like it's like that mindset, do you know what I mean? Like I'm entitled to say and do whatever I want. I feel like is pretty pervasive in the character traits that we're seeing of these people that have, you know, done these acts. It's part of that mindset that they can say whatever they want and do whatever they want because they are who they are.
And they have the mindset of doing whatever they want and getting away with it.
right.
Yeah.
As well.
So that's the other thing. Right now, HBO has a deal with Russell Simmons for Def Comedy Jam. I know there's talks about doing like an all-star Def Comedy Jam as well as like a reboot of some sorts of it on HBO. So they removed all of his name. They're going to keep the show going, of course, but they removed his name and like anything like with his name involved from it, like credits and things like that. But they're going to keep the ball rolling. As well as even though these allegations have come out, all of the comedians are still gonna, none of them have pulled out from it either. So that's just like further showing like the power of like what you guys were saying about the power of like his position and the power that he has to continue to do stuff like this. So.
Did I see, am I making this up? Did I see where before, what's her name, Amanda came out, like sometime last week when stuff was starting to come to the surface, didn't he like sign all his shit away, like to somebody else? He like gave other people like power over his conglomerate, over his company.
Oh, yes, he did. He did step away. He did. He
So
did.
I also feel like he knows some shit about to go down.
Yeah, that sounds guilty as fuck.
His assets, because he knows he's been on some shit. So he's like, all right, people are starting to talk. Let me like put these parameters in place in order to protect like my fortune, my resources.
Yeah, that's what people do all the time. Wasn't that like that whatever leak and those like CEOs sold all their stocks before shit went down? Yeah, it was recent. It was like Experian or something. The credits for people. So, yeah, that's very, very suspect of him doing all that.
Just nasty.
Yeah.
So HBO is doing away with him. Is that what I got?
They're not doing away with him. They're just removing his name from credits of stuff. Like they're still going through with the All-Star Comedy Jam, Def Comedy Jam, because Def Comedy Jam brought historically it has brought a lot of African American comedians to the surface. So that's where we got Bernie Mac, Martin Lawrence, D.L. Hughley, like all these comedians that we have now, where a lot of them participated and made their way through Def Comedy Jam. So it's like really huge. And of course they know that they don't want to lose out on money, so they just like removed his name, but they're still going to go through with the project.
Okay.
So for him, they're just removing his name. Has anybody heard what they're doing for other people that have been accused of things and are associated with shows or?
I have.
Yes.
I do. I have.
Yeah. What's yours, Jen?
Whatever.
Okay,
Mine is Matt Lauer and Kevin Spacey.
Mine's Kevin Spacey.
Oh,
okay, you take Kevin
Okay.
Spacey. What's yours, Treese?
Mine was also Matt Lauer, but then also political wise, Conyers.
Yes. Okay.
He stepped down today. So yeah, for sexual
We got too hyped.
Too hyped. Okay, Kevin Spacey. They're gonna continue season 6 of House of Cards, but having Robin Wright, who plays his wife in the show, as the main lead,
as the showrunner.
I might skip
he's not gonna be in it.
He's not gonna be in it at all.
No. Yeah, no.
They've completely cut ties with him.
Immediately they cut him.
Yeah.
And with Matt Lauer, like less than 24 hours. You know how like, or maybe you don't know, but at NBC they have like the newscasters pick photos like everywhere, and like they pulled all of his photos. They have to redo all of the promotional stuff. Like,
damn.
Yeah, like that ish moved quickly on Kevin Spacey and Matt Lauer.
Wow.
Damn.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What was yours, Treese?
Oh, mine was, is it Conyers? The Connors?
Yeah.
Conyers? Is
Conyers.
that right? From Senate? Yeah. He's stepping down for sexual harassment allegations as well.
And yeah, Roy Moore's bitch ass. I can't. I just remembered him. Because yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna go ahead and sip some orange juice real quick.
Okay. I like how she made to have that pause so she can sip her orange
Okay,
juice.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, real quick.
So I don't know if you guys heard, but the Republican National Convention or Committee, they're supporting him now again. Yeah,
even though they called for anybody that got money from Harvey Weinstein or whatever to give them money back, and for all of the Democratic people that have been accused of things to step down, but now they're going to support their own person just so they can have an R next to their name. Somebody
a bunch of hypocrites.
Surprise!
Yeah. Did you hear that Republican Senator Jeff Flake has donated $100 to Doug Jones? And in his, like, the caption where he's donating it with, he put "country over party." Because he does not support that anymore.
You know what?
Yeah.
Knowing that phrase, what a rebel. Good for him.
He's not
$100 ain't nothing, but
he's not doing real-life stuff here. So just also
he just wanted to prove a point.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, never mind.
Yeah. For those of you listening, please don't vote for Roy Moore. It's coming up. The election's in December 18th, something like that.
Yeah.
Alabama.
What a mess.
Please don't. Please don't let him in.
Because I was back to like more entertainment stuff and people involved, and then for House of Cards, Robin.
Right.
Robin Wright.
Okay, Robin Wright.
Wright.
That's a mouthful. I wondered what they were going to do, because you don't want to just like cut everything off for everybody that was involved because of one person's misdoings. Which made me go back to like the Cosby Show, when they were gonna like not air it anymore on things, which I guess people aren't probably making money off of that anymore, but I was just like, well,
probably still.
They
make money off syndication.
Oh, I saw it now, but at first it was a big thing, like pulling it off Netflix and all that stuff, but that punishes everybody else that was involved too.
Yeah, I stopped watching House of Cards, but I want to watch again just to see what they do. Like, how does he go away? I'm so excited.
I would.
And I love Robin Wright.
To skip all those seasons just to get to season 6 and just see what happens. I don't care what happens beforehand.
Episode of season 5, and then
and then jump on season 6. I'm down with that. I will fully support it now.
Oh, and I forgot to mention too, along with entertainment, Tia, Charlie Rose also got fired from.
Oh yeah, no shit. Yeah, he sure did.
That took a toll.
And replaced with a woman as well, I think.
Christina Amanpour.
Yes,
Amanpour.
Yes.
Edit that out.
Amanpour.
I don't want to get tomatoes thrown at me, but like I'm appreciative of all women being in the spotlight now.
I am too.
But I also don't want it to become this thing where now all I'll see is women, like in everything. Like just because you fired someone that's a man, like you have to replace this person with a woman. Like it.
I don't think that'll happen.
I just hope that's not the direction that it's going in. That's what I'll say.
Right.
I don't know that I care. Actually, I feel like
I'm glad you said that because I was trying to stay nice, but
it's been all men for, and when I by all listeners, don't be petty. It's been mostly men, right, doing this shit. So if it's time for their regime to end and every single motherfucker gets replaced with a woman, I can't say that I'm mad. I cannot. I'm
gonna say that I slightly am, only because I can't. Like I like what, even though I know he gay and I don't have a chance. Anderson Cooper is very easy on the eyes. I hope he ain't do nothing crazy. But I'm just saying, like I don't think that
She's looking out for number one.
You know,
but we're talking about people that have done something wrong. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we're just going to replace everyone.
No, but I'm just saying, like I don't think that everyone that should get everyone that's getting replaced. I don't think that everyone has to be a woman that replaces them. And I get this, I don't care, but those are just like.
I'm with you, Trace. I hear you. I feel like put who up, like just because one man did it doesn't mean that all men are suddenly bad and we don't want to see them.
Yeah, I don't.
Whatever, that's what I mean.
But it would be nice to see more women too, because a lot of stuff is.
But I've been seeing a lot more women in like sports entertainment when I watch.
So I'm really curious, what this is. So now people are being accused of things, and then whoever is over them or is affiliated with them is responding in kind to cut them out and tell them we'll no longer work with you. I'm wondering if this opens the door, though, for anybody to come out and say something against anyone, and then they automatically just lose everything because somebody wanted to say something against them. Not that I feel like a lot of people would do that, but there's always going to be somebody that's going to say something just to hurt somebody else. So what do you do with that?
I was thinking about this the other day because I was thinking about our men in particular, and how our meaning Black men in particular, and how I didn't want it to turn into like some, Obama did this, or Colin Kaepernick did this, or like people who are kind of like at the forefront of our community. From what I've seen thus far, at least like I'm thinking of what's old boy's name? Matt Lauer, and how it sounds like they did a significant amount of investigation about these particular allegations. So I'm hoping that's it's kind of like a what do you call that? Catch-22.
Catch-22.
Where if you say that this happened because of rape culture, blah 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 blah, patriarchy, that people always want like some type of proof when people saying this happened to me should be enough. But then when we're talking about what you're talking about, it's like, okay, well, in order to cut down on these, like, just, I don't know what the word I'm looking at, but like false allegations, or to keep people from losing everything or losing their jobs, or people just starting to say whatever the fuck because they can see this pattern of people losing everything, including their reputation, then like, how do we handle that? We do need to do like an investigation. So I guess, unfortunately, because people be doing fucked up shit, that the investigation part has to be like a part of the process, which sucks because there's not always, concrete evidence.
Right. And can be traumatizing or re-traumatizing for the people.
Right. Along the lines of what Miska was saying, I think, again, using Matt Lauer as an example, like the NBC like had their own investigation, and they had what it sounds like pretty concrete, like irrefutable evidence or, you know, whatever evidence. So I feel like that's the standard of what's happening. I think for me, my unease is, you know, because the political slash entertainment or reputation part of it gets tarnished, but at the end of the day, that's still not a part of the criminal investigation. So for me, where it becomes uneasy is, you know, let's say these things happen, the only way we're gonna really know, hopefully, is through an actual criminal investigation. And I guess in those instances, if it comes out that that person was found not guilty, that's where my unease is. But it sounds like the way allegations are going, and I think because it's such a huge thing right now, I think people are less likely to come out with false accusations because it will be an entire process that they have to go through. Yeah, you might want to screw someone over with their career, but a criminal investigation still needs to happen, assuming you're pressing charges, and you'll be found out. So, and you'll be the one that's hated on in the long run. So I feel like that will deter plenty of people from having to go to that process and then found to be a liar.
Right. Didn't that happen with somebody? Was it Conyers? Somebody, they like planted someone. So this woman went forward and was like, it was one of the politicians, I think. This woman came forward and she was like, this happened to me. And she kind of like planted herself to prove that people could be lying because she was lying. And then the investigation people, I don't remember who it was. It was a politician. It was either, it might have been Roy Moore or Conyers, one of those like in that family. I can't remember if we can maybe look it up, but that happened to where people were trying to discredit the victims by going forward and being like, this happened to me, psych, nah, it really didn't, but now y'all see people lie on some.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other part, like I know that like the criminal piece is one way to kind of help with, you know, staring off, I guess, some of the liars. But I think it's more difficult to do that when some of the situations have been, like when they happened like over 15 or 20 years ago. So like I'm glad those women kept their yearbooks and cards and things that Roy Moore gave them to prove that even if like you can't say you don't know who I am because you actually did sign this for me. Like we had a relationship. Something was going on. So I'm glad that they at least had that evidence, but like not everyone has that evidence to say like, you know, this person sexually assaulted me or, you know, sexually harassed me or in a situation, which makes it a little, I think gives them that window because it's not enough time for, like it's too long for them to have any litigation because of our like statute of limitations or whatever. Am I saying that right?
Statute of limitation.
Yeah, of limitation. And things like that. So I think that's the part that I like am concerned about. But I do want to give a shout out to New York Times for being on their shit with doing research and calling out all these people because it all started with Harvey Weinstein, and now I think they also were the ones that came out with the story from Matt Lauer, which prompted ABC, NBC, with the news station that he works for, to do research and then fire him for it. So yeah, so like it's sticky because I don't want to be like when someone does come out that I like care about, I'm like, oh my God, no, I don't believe it. Like like that cognitive dissonance, like you still want to make sure, because like I will be honest, like with Bill Cosby, I was like, what? No, 54 women. Oh, holy shit, this is that.
I was like that with Matt Lauer when I was hearing stuff about him. I didn't want to believe any of that shit either.
Yeah, him too.
But I don't know. I think just in the general climate of what's happening right now, that, you know, a lot of people could be just making shit up, but just give the benefit of the doubt that these women are telling the truth. And why would they put themselves in a situation like this just to lie about it?
Right. And I think especially the ones that are coming forward with like, these things happened years ago, I feel like the public ends up hearing after the fact, after statements are taken, and the validity comes in the fact that most of these stories are so similar, you know what I mean? Like they're not all put in the same room and like swapping stories. Like I feel like through the investigative process, you know, they have their own deposition possibly or providing a statement, and they put all that information together, and by the time the public hears it, it's already, you know, pretty sound and founded out to be accurate. So I think that helps deter the liars out there.
Wrapping up, there was SNL this past Saturday did a video called Welcome to Hell, where they gathered all the SNL women to basically sing a song about sexual allegations and telling men that this shit's been happening for years and years and years, and now it's coming out, so welcome to our hell, and now you're exposed to all of it. But basically throughout the whole video, they just kind of like they describe like what women have to go through just to do like regular ass shit, like, oh, I'm gonna walk to my car, so I put keys in between my fingers, so if somebody does come
Which
up
I've done.
I've done that too,
when I
come
walk
up
my
to
dog.
me, that we all carry like a rape whistle or mace, just all this other extra shit that we have to do so we just don't get raped or like get sexual assaulted by just like walking outside. So that was kind of their video, just trying to outline that women have been doing this for years and now it's all coming out. So it's not new to us, but it might be new to the men out there who don't think twice about just going different places without having to protect themselves.
So I did see it, and maybe I've just had a weird day. I didn't understand the point of it, though. Like, yeah, I didn't understand the point of it. Like, in what way are the men going through hell also with assault? Like, I didn't so the hell is them finding out about it or knowing more about it?
It's more, I thought that it was more of like, instead of not saying welcome to hell, but just showing them like, because all these allegations came out, like it's all these different women that like, welcome to our world. Like this
Right.
is the shit that we've been dealing with for years. And now you see it. This is it. Deal with it. You're losing your job. That's your fucking fault for sexually harassing us. Like, welcome to our world.
Okay. All right. It was okay.
I had like a critique about it because I mean I thought it was cool, but like it wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny to me either. It was
Like,
way
Maybe
too
that's
like,
why I lost it.
It got like, I was like, oh okay, this is cute, and then I'm like, oh no, yeah,
it was too truthful, I think.
by myself. Like I don't walk to the store by myself. Like in college, I always, if like my friend didn't go with me, I didn't go because I'm like, shit, I'm not going by myself. I don't know what's happening out there.
So can I just say to that, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I think it might have been, maybe it wasn't Freakonomics. Sorry. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was talking about how SNL, oftentimes they will like make a political statement, but they don't follow all the way through with it. When they could use their platform to like kind of make light of something, but also have an impact, because just laughing at something doesn't necessarily get people to think. So I actually think that it's good that they made it so that it wasn't something that you were necessarily finding like, that's funny, I can just laugh it off.
It was cutesy and flashy, and it made you pay attention to it because you're like thinking this is going to be funny, but then you just like listen to the whole message and you're like, this isn't funny at all. So I actually kind of liked the video how they did it.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess my reaction is what Tia was saying, is that I feel like they didn't follow through with it. Like, I feel like it was just like a throw in, like it was just like a throwaway, and they had that opportunity to follow through. I think that's why it was missing something for me. So I'm glad you brought that point up, because for me, that's what was missing. Like, I was just like, this is an annoying video to look at. And I know this all, do you know, like I know what the issue is. So like, what else are you bringing to the table?
The other thing they did was, so there is, you know, Leslie, she's Black, and then is Melissa, is she Latino?
I believe so.
I want to make sure
Melissa
I got her name
Villaseñor.
right. But so like they weren't the main women in the video. Like it was they were on as just side alongs. And so Leslie came in to let them know that just because that women of color actually experience like worse, like sexual misconduct allegations and all this stuff they than white women. And then Melissa was just there doing random like chants and songs, but it wasn't like they should have been a part of the whole video, like it, because that would have been, to me, that would have made more sense and brought more unity to the situation, I think. And then still talks about like how, you know, the rates for women of color being, you know, having to go through it more because of that intersectionality stuff. But yeah, that was my critique. Oh, thanks for tuning in. You can find our podcasts on Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube and Google Play. Please rate, review, and subscribe. We appreciate any feedback. Also, you can follow us on all social media platforms at W.I.N.E Podcasts with an S. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.